Alright, hey again. Erch here. Erch. No. Name that song. Seriously, somebody try. Hey everybody, it's Erch here. Back, second part of the video here. This is to showcase the session mode. And I mentioned in the other video the 60-day challenge. I was kind of planning on doing this originally at the end of the 60 days, just to kind of show you how far I got in that, but everyone's been asking me about the game, so I figured I'd throw this together now. Okie doke. So what we got here is the session mode, bit kind of the jam mode, I would say. I'm just selecting one of the preset bands here because chiptunes, yeah. And it's giving me mission stuff here. I guess I didn't mention these little green picks that you see all over the game are basically mission things that it's kind of the way the game tutorializes you through without actually doing a strict tutorial. It just kind of says, try this mode, try this, use this scale, try that. And that's kind of how you work your way through the thing. And it's actually pretty cool the way it does it and leads you through. Anyways, so I've just loaded up a band here. You can make custom ones, fiddle around with it however you want. It gives you... you can select the root, which is your key, the scale, major, minor, Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixed Lydian, Aeolian, Harmonic, Minor, Phrygian, Dominant, or Blues. I'll show you what that means all in a second. And the game runs you through all this stuff. I took a couple of years of music in high school. I did understand a little bit of this stuff, but this game's kind of the first time I've actually put it practically to anything. I was playing drums back in high school, so I learned the theory, but I never understood any of it, or I didn't really apply it to anything. Complexity here is what determines your chord changes. Jam, I think, I've never actually played the jam. I think it just sits and does 6 in whatever chord you're in. Radio friendly does your typical, I don't know if it's 12 bar or whatever, but it goes through a bridge, yada yada. 12 bar is the blues format, of course. Progressive and changes are basically the wacky, we change key and change chords to all sorts of random crap on the fly, and you get to keep up, and it's kind of fun actually, because it gives you the roadmap for how to keep up with the changes. Tempo. The groove here is basically determines the rhythm of the band and how they shift with you, or if they just stay rigid, which is also what the tempo slew is all about. And then the rooms, of course, give you different levels of reverb depending on kind of simulating where you're playing. I'll hop right in here. This is your basic interface of the session mode. Up at the top, you'll see in a second when I actually start playing, there's two lines. There's a little yellow one that is basically your volume level and your intensity playing, and then the white bass line that you can see creeping across now is the band and where the band's at currently. And so it kind of tries to match your intensity to the band, or matches the band's intensity to you. Those start thumping, and you can see them, each individual one, depending on how they're playing. This jazz here in the center is basically your rhythm. It's a metronome. It flashes green when you're on the beats. So yeah, just kind of keeps you on time. Tells you which key you're in here right now, which mode. So I'm in, basic major scale. And then the blue squiggle here is basically showing you how harmonic or discordant you are with the current scale, which basically just means if you hit a wrong note or not, it starts going all out of sync. You can see it's kind of a neat effect. So I just like zooming out here so you can see the whole damn bar at once. And I kind of refer to this as light bright mode sometimes because it just gives you the guitar neck and it goes, these are the notes that sound good, play them. So any of the solid notes are the ones that are in the current chord, and all the ones that are kind of slotted out are ones that are in the key or the scale, but not in the current chord. So any of these notes sound good and sound right to be played. But the chord tones, the ones that are in your current chord, are the ones that sound really kind of good and heavy. And if you hit those notes as the changes occur, like you just switch to a note which has just now become the chord note or chord tone, it kind of has a heavy feel to it. And if you don't understand any of this stuff that I'm talking about, don't worry, the game runs you through it all, so you learn it as you go. You don't really need to have any kind of formal knowledge. So what I like to do when I start off in this is just kind of locate some of the power chords that are easier to play. So here you can do kind of like a bridge, 2nd fret, 6 and 7 up here, and then I guess 9 and 11, and those give you kind of just 3 basic notes to work on and get the band going. And then you kind of just run around on the scales. So you can see how the notes were shifting around there, and I was trying to hit the ones as they were coming up in the new chord, and that's kind of when you get those like oomph moments, I want to say. Yeah, and like that's basically what I picked up the guitar in this game to be able to do. Learning famous songs is fun and all, but making your own music and just cocking about, to me, is what I really got into this for. So I could just sit here, and I've honestly sat down and just jammed with this, fiddling around for like hours at a time. It's just so much fun. And I've actually been finding that my technique actually improves a lot more playing this mode, because you kind of learn to freeform and just run around a little bit. You want to do a bit of both, but I find that just kind of mimicking another song kind of gets you into marionette mode, and you're just trying to, mimic. And this one actually gets you kind of thinking and looking at your chords, and you actually start to memorize them and remember how to do them outside of the game. Don't need the crutch anymore. So that's the chiptune band. I'll just run you through a quick blues band just to give you a different sound here real quick. Because the gritty organ is the coolest. Yeah, gritty organ. Yeah, let's go with E, whatever. yeah, it was that. And I mean, if you're an accomplished guitarist, you're not even trying to learn this stuff. I'd say it's, you know, you already have a guitar, $80 is probably worth it just for this. It's like, you don't need a practice space, you don't even need an amp. You just put on your headset and you've got the perfect backup band for you to just screw around for hours. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is basically the meat and potatoes of the game for me. I love just sitting here in this mode and playing away because it's just a barrel of fun. So yeah, that is RockSmith in a nutshell. If you guys have any questions about it, feel free to ask. Yeah, have a good one. Erch out.